At number 5, it's paradox of the phytoplankton. Phytoplankton are a class of organisms found in large water bodies and include a wide variety of different subspecies. They are essentially plants that float, and they've been discovered in water systems throughout the world. It is a hugely diverse group, and it's the sheer diversity of these organisms that flies in the face of evolution and natural selection. The lack of resources makes it impossible for such a large number of different organisms to survive in an ecosystem without killing each other off. Yet somehow, they're still here. Doubt the problem is not just restricted to phytoplankton, either. Water bodies abundant in nutrients have been proven to have a lower diversity of species than the ones lacking them. It is known as the paradox of enrichment, as higher nutrients show. At number 4, it's how Argentine ants sustain a colony across continents. On the surface, Argentine ants look like regular ants, but they're possibly the only species apart from us that has managed to colonize across 3 continents. All 3 super colonies of Argentine ants in Europe, South America, and Asia consist of ants that share the same genetic traits and are essentially the same ant population. Because the geographical range of these colonies is mind-bogglingly huge, the social structure of these super colonies has also baffled science for some time now. The ants immediately recognize their brethren whenever put together, but are aggressive with ants from other species. Apart from that, the genetic code of the ants of today hasn't changed a lot for thousands of years. That's weird because organisms outside their native environment usually evolve rapidly. At number 3, it's the mysterious human ancestor. The lineage of modern humans has been well studied over the years, and even though the first humans emerged a long time ago, we seem to have a good idea about our origins. Or that's what we thought until scientists discovered traces of a whole new type of ancient human ancestor in the DNA of a now extinct species. When scientists studied the DNA of denisovans, Denisova hominins, a hominid species closely related to the Neanderthals named after the caves in which they were first found, they found traces of a mystery species which science hasn't quite been able to identify yet. While there is a penetrating mystery surrounding the Denisovans themselves, we at least know who they were and where they came from. The same cannot be said for the unknown species with whom they bred about 30,000 years ago, a species that left a distinct imprint on the Denisovan DNA. Basically, all we know is that they provided Denisovans with a weird set of teeth not found anywhere. At number 2, it's animals that can live without oxygen. Nearly every organism on Earth lives with the help of oxygen in some way, either by consuming it or producing it. That was the reason everyone was shocked when the first oxygen-free animals were found deep in the Mediterranean Sea. While some bacteria and other simple organisms can live without oxygen, the phenomenon was unheard of among complex, multicellular animals. The newly discovered creatures are from the Loracifera phylum, a class of tiny animals that once used to live on oxygen but eventually adapted to the new environment when oxygen levels dropped and were replaced by salts. No complex organism has previously been known to live in oxygen-free environments, and we have no idea about their evolutionary history. More research could offer us a look into marine life before the oceans had any oxy. At number 1, it's sexual reproduction. Apart from some microbes and plants, nearly all the living things in the world reproduce sexually. It is something that we take so much for granted that we don't realize how much of an evolutionary anomaly it is. An entire half of a species, the males, are unable to produce any offspring at all while still using up the same amount of resources from the environment. Why go through so much effort to develop a mechanism that is a clear disadvantage in the long run? One of the most favored theories is that sex helps breed out harmful mutations, but that doesn't seem to be the case. When scientists studied 700 genes of various organisms, they found the number of harmful mutations to be a whopping 0.5 per individual per generation. For the drawbacks that come with it, that it's not enough to justify sexual reproduction. As much as we like to have it, sex remains something that we still don't quite understand. You can check out Himanshu's stuff at Cracked, get in touch with him for writing gigs, or just say hello to him on Twitter.